Okay, Christina here to listen to some music. And today's music selection is Killing in the Name by Rage Against the Machine. For those that don't know me yet, I am a professional classically trained musician. I'm an instrumentalist, vocalist, and composer, so we look at everything. I know of Rage Against the Machine, but I've never sat down to really listen to them. Like, I'm sure I've heard it, but I wouldn't be able to be like, that's Rage Against the Machine. I looked up the dates, and it said that the band formed in 1991, and I think it says that they've sort of been on and off and maybe even still active around today, which is pretty cool. And that they're heavy metal. And I think a new genre popped up in the 90s at some point, like mid to late 90s, of that sort of heavier metal, but it was like almost like a spin-off of grunge, sort of. And if I'm incorrect on that, I apologize. So I really like early grunge. And so by the time Rage Against the Machine came around, I was already really immersed in my classical training. And so I sort of just stuck with my grunge favorites from like the early 90s and didn't really look beyond that at all. So I think that explains why I missed this band. So this one was highly suggested across the board. It won a couple of polls. You all helped me decide what to listen to and analyze next. That's kind of how this works. Don't see your favorites yet on the channel? Just wait. I'm going to cover a lot of different styles of music. And this channel is still just brand new, like just about a month old. Already having a lot of fun, and we're just getting started. So I hope you can support the channel, like and subscribe, see me over on Patreon. Very soon here, I will have channel memberships available for everyone. It's all very much appreciated. But that's enough of that. Let's get to the music. Let's listen. All right.
Forces are the same that burn.
Okay, whoa. Is this in the Matrix movies? Or, I don't know. Or maybe it just sounds like something that I've heard and I immediately thought of the Matrix. Am I wrong? I don't care, because this is really cool. I loved the music in the Matrix, and I think I love this. So I mentioned in the intro that I really love grunge. And this is obviously more heavy metal. But the things that I love about grunge, like the heaviness and the guitar chords, and there's something about it that really draws me in. So musically, this was already really interesting. I already have goosebumps here. Ooh, okay. Starts out with that awesome grunge heavy metal guitar sound where the notes are in fourths and fifths, perfect fourths and perfect fifths. Here's a perfect fourth and here's a perfect fifth. That just means how many notes are in between. You go up 4 notes, that's a perfect fourth. You go up 5 notes, that's a perfect fifth. I really need to have a keyboard right here, y'all. I'm gonna have to work on that. Okay, back to the music. So you hear that opening grunge heavy metal chord, which I love. And then you hear this unusual guitar motif playing 2 notes that are really far from each other. I believe it's a ninth, which means it's an octave plus 1 note. Again, I need my keyboard here. But those 2 notes are really far away, so it really makes you feel uneasy and it's unexpected. And for those that don't know music theory, you might not realize that that's what's happening, but you know that it still makes you feel that way. I think I heard some cowbell in there. Always room for more cowbell. Okay, sorry. SNL fan. But then we head into this awesome rhythmic crescendo, and what it's doing is it's taking duple and then triple, a 2-beat feel and then a 3-beat feel. And if you put those together, that's actually a technical term called a hemiola. The composer Johannes Brahms used that a lot, and that was one of his signature moves. It was almost as jarring and pulling, just like that original ninth, the octave plus one note. But it was doing it rhythmically. And so where was it headed? It finally lands, like it's like Rocky travels here, and then we finally land where we're going. I love it. I have to go back right now and hear this. Oh my gosh. Okay. From the beginning. I love it. Okay. There's that cool grunge chord. Love it. And here's with cowbell stuff in the background, whatever it is. 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's the duple and triple play. And so where is this going? It's rocky terrain. There it is.
Those that work forces are the same that burn crosses. Some of those that work forces are the same that burn crosses. Some of those that work forces are the same that burn crosses. Some of those that work forces are the same that burn crosses. Killing in the name of what they told you. Now you do 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 what they told you. And 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 now you do what they told you.
Okay, I know I have a big smile on my face here, and the lyrics obviously are something way more heavy than that, so I apologize if those things don't match. So that rhythmic crescendo that brings us from the intro into the main riff is so epic. Builds and builds and builds and builds, and then where we land is actually so broad. So you're kind of getting all wound up and you're intense, and then you get enveloped by it because it's so broad, and you realize that you've almost been tricked because you thought it was going to go faster, but then it sits back and it's like, gotcha. And it really makes you pay attention. Plus it's just a really good beat groove, and you just want to be present and participate. Okay, I love the repetition of the lyrics. It's a chant, like in a march or a protest. I mean, the message here is undeniable. So this is sort of anti-establishment or authority. Are all of their songs this way? Or is it just this one? Well, that's what we have to find out. The line about, and you will do what they told you. If this was not used in The Matrix, it should have been. Because, hello, no spoilers, but hello, if you know, you know. But again, that repetition, I love the repetition. And then what I noticed is that the microphone was being held very close. It was very rough, like you could hear all of the mouth noises and the plosives, that sound, which is why I have this filter right here to kind of stop those noises from happening. But it's like an impromptu performance, you know, someone takes a megaphone and is talking to a crowd. So I think I'm catching on to the message, and it's just a matter of how do they present it. All right. So let's hear it.
Justified, but wearing the badge and you're chosen white. You're justified. Those that died, but wearing the badge and you're chosen white. Those who died are justified, but wearing the badge and you're chosen white. You're justified. Those who died, but wearing the badge and you're chosen white. Some of those that work forces are the same that burn crosses. Some of those that work forces are the same that burn crosses. Some of those that work forces are the same that burn crosses. Some of those that work forces are the same that burn crosses. Killing in the name of. Killing in the name of. Now you do what they told you. Now you do what they told you. And now you do what they told you. And now you do what they told you. And now you do what they told you. You're under control. And now you do what they told you. You're under control. And now you do what they told you. You're under control. And now you do what they told you. Now you're under control. And now you do what they told you. Now you're under control. And now you do what they told you. You're under control. And now you do what they told you. You're under control. And now you do what they told you. Those who died are just.
Okay. So the lyrics got just a little bit more complex, but the repetition is still there. But that is the point of this song, is to repeat that message. I love the style of the lead vocalist. It's very compelling. It's very natural. It reminds me a bit of the Beastie Boys. I'm an 80s kid, so I'm going to know the Beastie Boys. I used to go roller skating to the Beastie Boys. And their message is also kind of the same. But I feel like with the Beastie Boys, it's more like rebelling against your parents, where this is more of an establishment society situation, sort of a broader issue. It's just so captivating. The drum beats and the intensity. There's another little riff in there with the guitar that kind of goes, and I don't remember the band who did this song, but I remember seeing it in a movie. I think it's I Want Candy. So I'm hearing a lot of really great influences from the 80s. And so if these guys started this band in the 90s, they were probably around in the 80s. They were 80s kids too. And so I can see maybe where they got some of their influences. But those are my best guesses. So let me know how close I got. Okay, so let's get back to it.
But wearing the badge and you're chosen white. You're justified. Those that died, but wearing the badge and you're chosen white. Those who died are justified. But wearing the badge and you're chosen white. You're justified. Those that died, but wearing the badge and you're chosen white. Come on.
Okay. So I think another aim of this band is to get people to feel stuff. How does this song make me feel? It makes me feel energized. Makes me feel a little bit ragey. It makes me ask questions. And I think that's the point. Musically, as a song, it is really awesome. I love the creativity. I love how they played with having the notes so far away, that dissonance. I love the undertones of the guitars, that grunge/heavy metal sound. I love the fact that the lead singer doesn't actually sing. It's all spoken word. And the way he does that, again, it's not forced. It's very natural, and it doesn't make you question who he is and where he's from. He just is. And they really did repeat those lines over and over and over again. But the music underneath was not as repetitive. And I think that's what I'm seeing that I really like, is if it was all repetitive, that would have been boring. But the music underneath was so interesting that the repetition of the lyrics was totally fine. Okay, so what was that funny guitar noise at the end? It was like a guitar being played underwater, which would not be good since it's an electric guitar. I didn't study guitars, so I don't know that much about electric guitars, but I'm learning, and I want to learn so much more. So if you happen to know how they recreated, or maybe it was just a pedal, or I don't know, I'm not sure. But I am interested to find out what that sort of quieter underwater electric guitar sound was at the end. Don't play an electric guitar underwater, folks. But in general, the guitar riff that comes in that broad moment after the intro is just glorious. In fact, I kind of wanted to hear it more. But then that makes you want to go back and listen to the song again, which just reinforces their message. Clever. And I'm really interested to find out what other subject matter they've used in some of their other songs. Is this their number one song? If it is, I see why. It is really good. Okay. Would I listen to this again? Absolutely. This is definitely going on my playlist. Might turn it down at the end for the kids a little bit, but that's okay. So thank you to everyone who recommended it. Thank you to everyone who voted for this. And please let me know what of their music I should listen to next, or other stuff that's close to it. And as always, just be okay and keep listening.